So, how recently was it observable that the galaxies are almost all increasing in distance from the Earth?
Since the 1920s, Edwin Powell Hubble coordinated a systematic observation project and published his findings in 1929. For nearby galaxies beyond the Andromeda Galaxy, the velocity equivalent of the redshift is approximately linear in the distance to where we see their light radiated. In 1927, Georges Lemaitre calculated, from modeling the entire universe, that there would be such a redshift.
And how recently was this cosmic microwave background radiation observable?
Accidentally in 1964 by Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson. It took a full year to confirm the lack of variation with direction. The currently measured temperature is 2.726 Kelvin with a standard deviation of 1.3 millikelvin.
How many ways of redshifting light are known?
There are 4 ways of changing the length of a light wave between when it is radiated and when it is detected. The Doppler effect refers to that change caused by a radial speed difference between the source and the viewer. If the source is receding from the viewer, we have a redshift from the increase in wavelength. If the source is approaching the viewer, we have a blue shift from the decrease in wavelength. These names are based on how orange, yellow, or green light is changed. These colors become closer to red when their wavelengths are lengthened and closer to blue when their wavelengths are shortened. The redshifting from angular velocity of the source relative to the viewer and redshift from change in gravity between the source and the viewer can both be visualized as directly caused by a difference in the apparent clock rate. If the source appears to be experiencing time slower than the viewer, we have a redshift. If the source appears to be experiencing time faster than the viewer, we have a blue shift. The last cause of redshifting is space-time expansion. When space expands between when the source radiates the light and when the light is seen, the wavelength of the light is multiplied by the linear factor by which space has expanded.
What is the usual notation for redshift?
It is usual to report the z value rather than the actual wavelength multiplier, i.e. frequency divisor. 1 plus z is defined to be the wavelength multiplier of the redshift. That is, 0 is no change, negative is blue shift, and positive is redshift.